To 2 minutes of Torah. This year is entitled Lessons from one of the most tragic chapters in Tanakh. So I'd say one of the most chapters. I would say the most chapters probably the Horban, destruction of the Mikdash, spread throughout Tanakh. But the chapter of Shaul's downfall, that's pretty tragic as well. It's his own downfall, which is itself so sad. But okay, that doesn't match the tragedy of the whole national downfall. But there are lessons there in chapter 15 in Shmuel Aleph regarding Shaul that really affect all of Klal Yisrael, about how he dealt with Amalek, how we deal with Amalek, how we relate to our enemies. One reads through it. Now, don't forget what's so painful about the story of Shaul, which we read. That's the Haftorah on Pashat Zachor, the Shabbat before Purim. What's so painful about it is Shaul didn't want to become the leader. It was hoisted upon him. He was such a humble person, and he didn't feel he was right for it. But obviously Hashem told Shmuel that he is the man. And it was hard. It was hard for him. He had some glorious achievements, but it was hard for him. And when it came to Amalek, you read the chapter, it's almost a disconnect. He's commanded to wipe out Amalek. And what happens? He sees Shmuel. Shmuel already heard from God. Zeh lo zeh. He did not do his job. He did not wipe out Amalek and all their possessions. And Shaul sees Shmuel. You think he's going to have his head down. He'll hide from him. He'll be embarrassed. No. He says, Shmuel, I did my job. I did the mitzvah. And Shmuel comes back and says, I hear something. I hear animals. What's going on? Oh, yeah, no, I killed almost everyone, and I killed most of the people and the animals, but there's people wanted some of them, and Shmuel said that wasn't the command. And Agag, well, there's pressure and there's fear, and so for Shaul, somehow he was convinced. It's an unbelievable chapter. He somehow was convinced that he did everything right. And we know there were glaring mistakes in what he did. But he didn't see that. Not at first. He had a giant of a person physically, spiritually. He was a giant. He thought he carried out the command to wipe out our enemies properly. He thought he did it. He was excited about it. He said, Shmuel, here I am. I did it. We're moving on. This is a great historical achievement for Klal Yisrael. We're supposed to have a king, wipe out Amalek, build the Mikdash. We're on our way. And Shmuel says, you're losing your kingdom. Wow, what a disconnect over here. What's going on with Shaul? What was he thinking? How did he make such a mistake? And how can we learn from these mistakes? Yetz Hashem will analyze some of the commentaries in the next year, try to make sense of all this most tragic and depressing chapter. Shalom.